Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, bahasham, quadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone, who are teaching this truth in sincerity. And a shout out to Yakim, that's out there on the four quarters of the earth proclaiming this truth. Barak of the yahawah, barak of the yahawashi, bahasham, quadash, barak atham. So, out here another week, prophesying the downfall of Babylon the Great, America, if you will, because everyone likes to say, well, America's not in the scriptures, but we know it is, because spiritually it's called Sodom and Egypt, also known as Basra in the scriptures. So we know that it's talking about America, you know, to all the naysayers that want to say it's something else. Sure enough, got a warning strike on my channel, so you know that in just a few days they're going to shut down all these channels anyways, so that's just an excuse for it. And it happens to be for an old video. Yeah, it was deemed for hate speech, which to hate something means to not like. Well, I don't have to like Edomites, okay? And I'm going to speak against the Edomites and what they're doing. I don't have to like their wars, because, and I don't have to go along with the sewer stream media and what they're telling me, you know? I don't have to like everything. But you see, that's just it. They only want political correctness. You know, everybody to believe the same bullshit story, you know? And for everybody to be docile. And because we speak the truth, you know, and get people out of that docile state of mind, you know, that's why they want to shut this down. But you see, the word's already gone out. People are no longer in that docile state. People aren't getting their flu shots. And that joyous Christmas spirit ain't here. Do you see these streets decked with gold? Do you hear the Christmas carolers? No. I mean, yeah, I know that people still celebrate it, but I mean, as far as it being as really big as it did, nah, man. Most High's taken that spirit from this place. This place is dead, and that's a good thing. That means that a weight is being lifted off of his people. We that cry unto the Lord for the abominations being done, you know. So, of course, you know, there was a false flag a couple days ago about an active shooter at Pearl Harbor, you know, and you got all this distraction, and they're deliberately doing it. These so-called impeachment trials is really to keep, you know, get everybody's eyes off the ball, which is to try and create a false flag in the Middle East to blame Iran for it. They're also, the white helmets are also planning to stage another false flag chemical attack to blame Bashar al-Assad for it, because the Zionists, the Amalekites, want America to go in and destroy Iran and Syria, ultimately, because they want to control that whole thing. And then what's also happening is that China and Russia have been bypassing the dollar and have found newer ways of doing it, and going more with the Russian oil input, which is getting imports from Iran. And so that's destroying America's hegemony, you know, because the petrodollar has been the main hegemony of the United States. But these places, man, they're getting away from that, and they're going with the gold standard, you see. And when that happens, you know that they're going to go to war. So that's what's really happening. World War III is right around the corner. Also, more martial law will be coming. Because once you got this word off the streets, you know, which we'll still go out and teach anyways. I mean, this is just a YouTube thing, but people ain't going to be able to get it, you know. But we're finding other avenues. Hey, there's other brothers got podcasts going on now, man. Men of Valor 12, man, they got their own podcast set up, you know. There are some that you pay for, and then there's other avenues that are free. And Vimeo's another one. I set mine into daily motion, following Apostle Tahar's call that, hey, we may be going back to daily motion, so I'm getting used to just doing, you know, combine clips with about an hour long each, you know, and you can do like 2 each day. So I'm already used to that format, you know, and, you know, you just got to find these other avenues. Ustream is another one. I think you got to pay for it. You know, I don't know if it's free anymore. And so, yeah, there's going to have to be other avenues. That YouTube may not be the main avenue anymore. But nonetheless, though, and they're about to roll out martial law, because, of course, they're going to stage more attacks and say that, you know, like that active shooter at Pearl Harbor, you know. So they're going to stage more events as an excuse. And, well, you know, that the PG&E just shuts off power whenever they damn well feel like it. And a lot of us have to relocate, you know. I have to relocate because I was given a 60-day notice, so I've been couch surfing now for about a week, you know, but I still come out here and teach anyways, you know, so, you know, there's no excuse to not do the work, you know, and that's just it. 2/3 of our people, and those that claim to know this, you know, don't really want to do the work no more, and that's a terrible place to be. Man, you should be on fire for this and just trying to find other avenues, you know, like Ustream, live stream, you know, or Daily Motion, you know. Just try to find other avenues because, man, you know, we need to stay filled. And it's our best way, and not to mention, though, you know, either way, though, the Most High knows who's doing the labor, you know, coming out here and teaching this word, you know. Come rain or shine, man, you know, we're going to do it. And yes, I've even walked in the snow to come out and teach. I did that earlier this year during the snowstorms. PG&E didn't cut power back then, but you know, now it's a regular. So things are changing at a vast rate. And we know that the fiscal year is about to come up, you know. A lot of people, man, they know that they can't afford to do this bullshit Christmas, you know. But, you know, they're going to do it anyways, even though they know they can't afford it, you know. Again, you know, that holly jolly spirit that they once had, it's just not there anymore because they know that everything's crashing, you know. And yeah, this word has gone out, you know. So, you know, like everything else, though, you know, we're starting to become in a state of mourning, you know, where the Most High is going to take care of us, that we totally have to rely on Him, you know, not knowing where we're going to be next, but just know that we're in the hands of the Most High, because I've been that way for a while now. Yeah, the places I'm staying at, I'm not so sure if they'll kick me out or whatever, man. You know, but my faith ain't in people. It's in yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi. That if it does happen, the Most High is going to take care of me, you know. And that I will have food to eat, and I will find a place to sleep, you know. I mean, if worse came to worse, I could always sleep at them rest areas. Cops can't fuck with you there, you know. You can sleep at a rest area. You know, so you learn to bounce around, always being on the move. So, like everything else, though, you know, just still going out and teaching anyways, and still finding ways of getting them on the internet, even though I don't have my own cable and all that, but I still find a way of getting videos on there anyways. You know, so, what's everybody else's reason for not, you know? Well, it's just that's it, though, you know? Yeah, we're in some hard times. We're in a state of mourning, you know, a state of lamentation. So what better book to bring out than the book of Lamentations, chapter 3. I am the man that has seen affliction by the rod of his wrath. He hath led me and brought me into darkness, but not into light. You know, we're in some dark times up ahead. Surely against me is he turned. He turned his hand against me all the day. You know, and that's just it, though. You know, we're in some pretty harsh times right now. And it's going to get worse. My flesh and my skin hath he made old. He hath broken my bones. Yeah, man, I'm sore. I'm sore, you know, from, you know, being on the floor and being on the couch, man. You know, that does a lot to the body, you know. Especially when you're older and you got beginning arthritis, you're early and all those things. He hath builded against me and compassed me with gale and travail. He hath set me in dark places as they that be dead of old, you know. And that's just it, though, you know. Pretty much, though, the only thing I got that I'm running on is faith. But that's the state that we really needed to be in to begin with, you know. We actually need to be in a state of lamentation, you know, because when the people mourn, you know, and they call upon the power, the true power, and they repent, then he hear us again. He hath hedged me about that I cannot get out. He hath made my chain heavy, you know. So it's a lot of weight that we're carrying, man, you know. And when I cry and shout, he shutteth out my prayer. That's right, you know, because what's going to happen, though, is that a lot of people are going to call on to him, and he's not going to hear them. And why? Because they didn't want to repent when we came out here and we taught. You know, he's going to hear us, the prophets. But 2/3 of the people, man, he ain't listening to them. He ain't hearing them, you know. Of course, because he knows who You show your faith by going forth and doing the work. You know, I come out and I teach. You know, no matter what type of weather, others do it, and they don't care what type of weather. You got to be diligent for this thing. I mean, we just had the year of death, diligence, and destruction, and you know, if you're not diligent for this thing, death and destruction will come for you. I believe that was 2017, and then 2018 was the year of prophecy. Did we not see prophecies being fulfilled? Are we not in this year being the year of Charagma? Have we not seen the push for the mark? Are we not getting closer with this ID 2020, you know, and the fact that they've been shipping the homeless, and that they've been staging more events to cause you know, all the other things, you know, China devaluing the dollar, and just pretty much everything falling short. Because of course, you know, the mirth is no longer here. This place is about to be judged, and the others, they're feeling it too. So yeah, you're not going to have a holly jolly Christmas. You know, people ain't going to decorate, you know, because, come on, it's not here. They know that this economy is crashing, you know. They're just trying to survive. And, you know, that's all that we were supposed to do, is just survive this, man, you know. We're serving a prison sentence, and we're just about done with a prison sentence to where the cuffs are coming off of us. They're starting to go on to Esau. These Edomites are starting to feel it. And so what are they doing? Doing more opioids and trying to commit suicide. You know, suicide watch now at all-time high. You know, they have to put the commercials even in a movie you go to in town. You know, that, hey, if you're feeling suicidal, say something, you know. And that's just it, though. The only thing these Edomites could do is just kill themselves, you know. Because they always have taken the easy way out, man. They don't know what it's like. But you see, we the Israelites, you know, especially the prophets, we know what it's like, you know. We know how to endure. Because the ones that endure to the end, the same shall be saved. You know, we just got to endure. Enduring by faith. Faith by going forth and teaching this, despite what people think of you. Despite that you're the most hated. Facing your, you know, others in the world that don't want to come to this truth, that still would rather celebrate Christmas, would still rather celebrate these pagan holidays, would still, you know, dip into the philosophies that they were given, you know, stretch Christianity and everything else, though, you know, to believe that, you know, well, you know, I'm not too worried about it, so, you know, I'll just call upon Jesus and I'm going to be saved at that time. Well, a lot of people were judged, and, you know, calling upon Jesus ain't going to save you, but that's what they think, though, because they've been so brainwashed with it, you know. And, you know, again, you know, the Most High, He hates these Edomites, you know. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 2, and it says, "Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised." And everybody knows that, you know, who these Edomites are, and they're fucking tired of it. We've been going out and shouting that the so-called white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of, and now they're calling them the devil, you know. And they know that they're not the real Jews. They know that that they call them Zionists, and they call America Great Satan. You know, why is that? Well, Babylon the Great, Great Satan being literally the same thing, you know, because they know that they've been deceived by the whole world. You know, the whole world's been deceived by America, you know, all the phony philosophies, and they're tired of it. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Talking about you red Hebrew Edomites. Whose habitation is high, who saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Yeah, you think you're, you know, pretty much untouchable. You know, you think that you're just going to go on forever and ever. You think you're the gods of the earth. Well, you just have the sword, and you've taken the earth, and you have ruled with a, but your rulership is coming to an end. You can see it is, man. You can't agree on shit, you know. Whose habitation is high, who saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? The Most High is bringing you down to the ground. So all these nations are coming up against you. Thou that exalt thyself as the eagle. Talk about you so-called Americans, you know. And thou that set thy nest above the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Most High. Is that not happening? All these countries breaking away from the hegemony of America, the U.S. dollar being pretty much worthless. That's why you're going to see Esau even more. So, and I would be surprised if this whole thing rolls out in 2020. If these came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they have not stolen till they have enough? But you Edomites, man, you just keep on stealing, you know? If grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? How are the things of Esau searched out? How are they hidden things sought up? You know? Again, you know, you're being exposed almost all the time. Your own people are exposing you. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men were at peace with thee, have deceived thee. You know, all your allies are starting to turn on you. It's starting to make deals with Russia, making back deals, like Gomer and all his bands. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. That's right, man, you know. And you Edomites, you can't figure it out because the fact that the Most High hates you, you know. And that's why you fail at everything you do. You were meant to fail at everything you do. You were only meant to succeed for a certain amount of time. America once was, but is no more. You know? And everybody can see it's diminishing. And that holiday spirit is gone and people don't really feel it anymore. And they're depressed. They're committing suicide, addicted to opioids, vaping, everything. And you know that it's just right around the corner, man. The great economical crash. You know, and it's going to be worse than it was in 1929, though. Because, of course, you know, be FEMA camps everywhere. And you know that they have them. You've seen the FEMA coffins. You know that pretty much there's a reason behind everything. You know, all these weather events and these strange weather events and winds just all of a sudden gaining up to 60 or 70 miles per hour in places you wouldn't think, like California. Okay, this is very abnormal. You expect this kind of shit in the southern states, but not over here. Well, of course, because they know how to do this, you know? There is a plan. There was a plan to burn California, and Esau's going through the plans because Esau's doing the biddings of the Most High. You see, Satan serves the Most High on the left-hand side, and these Edomites, you know, Satan is their God. They just don't know it yet because, of course, you know, the pride of thine heart has deceived thee, you know. So, of course, you know, all these things are turning, you know, because we're at the very end of this. You know, pretty soon, all the allies are going to turn against America, and they're going to start shooting nuclear missiles upon this place. You know, they're going to destroy this place in 1 hour. And you see that as they break away from the U.S. dollar, the U.S. hegemony. And they're making deals, brokering deals with Magog, and also with Persia, all of them. Ethiopia, you know, just like Ezekiel 38 says, you know. In fact, I think I'll just go ahead and bring that out there since I'm talking about it already. You know, Ezekiel 38, because, of course, you know, we're in that time that we're seeing, you know, Magog come up, you know. So, pretty much, but the Most High is against all you Edomites, man. You know, which includes Magog. But nonetheless, though, you know, Ezekiel 38. The word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. You know, so the Most High is against all these kingdoms. And say, thus saith the Most High Yahawah, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. You know, but he's gathering all of them to fight in the valley of Yahawashi, which is right there in the Middle East. You know, that's why they're constantly fighting over the Syrian oil fields. You know, and of course, like everything else, they're driving America out of there because they're getting ready to fight the whore. And say, thus saith the Lord Yahawah, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. In other words, he's going to bring them in. You know, he's bringing in these armies, you know. Especially, you know, you saw that back in 2014 when Magog stepped in and says at the UN, it's like, you mentioned ISIS, and it's like, you know, whose idea was it to arm the terrorist groups in the first place? You know? So they came in. And I will bring thee forth all thine army, horses, and horsemen, you know, which are them heavy equipment, you know, S-400s, S-500s, S-300s, you know, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, and a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. So, you know, you got all of them there. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them. All of them with shield and helmet. Happening now, man. They got the S-400s and S-500 systems, and they could thwart any U.S. air attack. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Tagarma and all his quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou guard unto them. So Magog is protecting all these places, you know, from any U.S. or, as they say, any Western interference. You know, and that's what's happening, though, is that Magog is being a guard unto these places. And when you see that happen, you know that the Most High is gathering all these places, all these armies to fight in the Valley of Yahawashi, you know, which is Syria and the Middle East, Saudi Arabia. You know, they've been, you know, there's been a plan all along to go after Iran, and now you're starting to hear it, man. They're starting to put false news out there saying that Russia has threatened the U.S. The only thing Russia, well, they do that too, but Persia threatening the U.S. troops in the Middle East. Well, yeah, Persia did say it in their own words that, you know, this buildup there is considered a threat, you know, because of course they plan to eventually attack Iran, and they know this, but you know, it's a matter of who fires first. So they're trying to provoke Persia, and that's why, you know, you had all those other incidents in the sea there, the Sea of Omaz, the sea, you know, right there in the Persian Gulf. You know, that sea there. You know, you had those tanker incidents, and then they seized the Persian tanker going to Syria. You know, they stopped it. So you can see, though, that eventually it's going to be a full-blown war. And then don't forget the Persian Navy had also captured a U.S. Ship, you know, and detained them for a while because, of course, man, they're trying to provoke Persia into going to war. And been flying drones over their land. Yeah, they're going to shoot those fuckers down. Iran is ready for any invasion, you know. So they're being gathered, you know, all of them handling swords. And there are others that have visualized this. Maurice Sklar, you know, which is an Amalekite, you know, musician. He may actually be a Jake, you know, because, of course, our seed got mixed up with Amalek, of course. But, yeah, he saw it, man. You know, he saw the vision of America being destroyed by nuclear fire. And he also saw the martial law, you know. He had very interesting visions, you know. Yeah, you should look up Maurice Sklar, you know, because he had very interesting visions, you know. And so as others. Dmitry Dudman is another one. He's straight up said it, that America is Babylon, you know, and that, you know, you have sodomy and you have every other abomination here. Is not America teaching everybody that it's okay to be whatever? You don't even have to be the sex you're assigned to. You can just be gender neutral. Who pushes that shit? America does. And all the other nations are doing it. This great whore. This place is Sodom and Egypt spiritually. And you know that's all wickedness, man. You know, you can just turn on the cartoons and you hear a faggot, man. Straight up, man. You hear it. You know, and you're subjected to that. Because those homos are protected in Hollywood. There's nothing but them. You know? Because who does the makeup and all that? Some fucking homo, you know? And when you're watching stuff on a high-definition TV, you're seeing the lipstick on all these dudes, man. And I'm like, that dude's wearing lipstick. Wow, and it's in a lot of movies I used to watch when I was younger. But that dude's wearing lipstick. Of course, men are wearing makeup. But you just didn't notice it on those older TVs, but in a high-definition TV, it reveals everything. I'm like, man, what a bunch of fruitcakes. You know, and that's watching normal stuff. Lots of dudes wear lipstick in the movies. Now the high definition TV kind of reveals that, you know. So yeah, man, this ain't normal. But where did they learn all this? From Esau. This place is Sodom and Egypt spiritually. And was Sodom and Gomorrah not destroyed as an example? That's why this place is Sodom and Egypt spiritually is going to be destroyed as an example. It's not even going to come up in remembrance anymore. You know, this place is going to become an utter myth. You know, And that's just it, though, is Mystery Babylon has been revealed, and that that man of sin be revealed in that time. And we're in that time period when he's being revealed. You know, Daniel's words were shut up, but at the end they should speak. You know, and the same thing that was told to Habakkuk. You know, the same thing would happen, that at the very end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it. And that's just it, though. You know, now that that's all been revealed, the only thing they can do is shut down our channels. And that's why they're doing it, you know. That's why I got a strike on the channel. Because, of course, you know, I don't like what's going on, you know. Because to hate something means to not like it. I don't like the mainstream media. I don't like anything that's going on in Babylon. You know, this place is wicked, you know. Pretty much, though, the only thing it can do is wait to be destroyed. Waiting to die is the only reason to live, you know. And we hasten that day. We can't wait till this place is destroyed. Nothing but filth and wickedness here, you know. And that's just it. It's good to actually see it go down, you know. They took us down, you know, by violence, and now by violence they're being taken down, you know. They're being mowed down and tossed out, you know. They did not hesitate to destroy us, you know. While we were going out hunting, they raided our villages and destroyed our cities, or destroyed our villages, you know. Then they built their cities, and they did it by way of slave, you know. But you see, now the whole thing is starting to be turned around. Now the Edomites are feeling it, you know. That's why they're committing suicide, because they don't want to have to serve slavery, but they're going to, in one form or another, you know. And it's going to start with them Rothschilds, the ones that are at the top. You know, they're going to be serving slavery, and then they're going to bear children, you know. And most people, though, you know, they're going to feel it. Because, of course, when the time comes that all this will take place, they'll be trying to look for us, but we won't be here anymore, you know. Most High be taking care of us. He's already taking care of me, man. I ain't got a place to stay. But I still find ways of doing this, you know. I'm just couch surfing for a little time, just trying to buy time. But I know the Most High be with me, whether I get a place or I don't get a place. You know? So I look forward to these words. These words are comforting to me. You know? I'm just really glad I found all this before, you know? Because of men going out and doing this work, you know? The first great millstone camp I saw was in Toronto. You know, men doing the work. And then I got the revealing of yahawashi and what he really looked like, you know, from them. You know? And then I found Apostle Tahar and the others. And in no time at all, man, they were answering lots of questions that I once had. Man, the Christian church, you know, Christianity, they didn't want to deal with this stuff. Because, of course, they would have to teach that America is Babylon the Great. And they would have to explain a lot of things, and they don't want to explain those things. Because, of course, people don't want to hear it because it's good news for us, but bad news for them, you know. So that's what's happening, though. There's been an awakening, you know. You know, we've been awakened to this, and those that were meant to get it, they got it. And those that don't get it, they were not meant to get it. It's just that simple, you know. And you don't, you know, if they can't get it, man, you just move on to the next, you know. So the people that are tuned in to us and all that, they get it. Hell, they're going to get it, and they're going to come out and they're going to show their faith by coming forth, you know. I got to meet up with another camp, and the brother says, no, man, you got it, you know. Yeah, keep teaching, man, you know. You have the correct doctrine, and that's all I needed, you know. And I still am in touch with him, you know. So that's just it, though. Those that are meant to get it, they get it. They're compelled to come out and do this because they know that this place is about to be destroyed. You can see it, man. You know, nothing but desolation all around, man. You know, so many abandoned buildings and everything, you know. So, yeah, this was never a rest. So we'll just relocate, you know. The elders and apostles of Great Millstone relocate all the time. They're not teaching the same place every week. You know, so that's what I'll be doing, you know. I follow the lead, you know. It's like, okay, you know, I'm not living on that side, so I'll just come over to this side, you know. Or I may not be over this side, I might be over at another side. But I'm still going to come out here and teach until I can no longer do this. So I hope all this has been edifying. Like everything else, though, we're going to keep on speaking this truth while we still can. Get it while we still can. For that, I want to say, Barak the Yahawah, Barak the yahawashi, bahasham quadash, wa abab aval. Barak atham, the hopeful elect. Shalom.